Hello, people. My name is Sage Ryan Cash. You may know me from the TheViolentSneeze podcast or The Uneducated Opinion. Well, today I'm starting a new show called Burning the Sage. Now, for those unfamiliar with what burning the sage means, it's an ancient ritual that people used to do where they actually take the herb sage and they burn it. And it's supposed to represent a cleansing and supposed to kind of get rid of the bad energy in whatever place, whatever room you burn it in. Like when people get a new house, they usually, people who believe in that kind of stuff usually take sage and burn it the first thing they do before they move in, just to get rid of all the negative stuff that was there, that was left there maybe by previous owners or things of that nature, and start new, start fresh. So with this new show, Burning the Sage, I'm pretty much going to be doing that metaphorically with my own mind. What I mean by that is I'm going to take thoughts that I've had in my head and share it with y'all in a way of cleansing my own mind and cleansing my own self by letting it all out. With that being said, this is the very first episode of Burning the Sage. So I wanted to start off the first episode with kind of a topic that has been pretty relevant in my recent days on this planet Earth. And that is complacency and monotony and just realizing that I am a person that always has to be constantly changing, constantly evolving, mentally, physically. I can never stay still or stand in one place for too long without going crazy or having real severe emotional side effects from staying in place or living my day-to-day routines too repetitively. If anything's too repetitive, I freak out. And so I didn't notice that, I mean, it's kind of something that I feel is fairly common, like common sense to know that, like, anything that's too repetitive is a bad thing. But then again, I don't know. Let me put this into perspective for y'all as best as I can. Recently, I just moved into a new house with new people and in a new room. And with that comes a lot of change. It's a new area too. I mean, it's not too far from where I used to live. It's just a couple towns over. However, it is it's a new chapter, And with that comes new experiences and new emotions that follow. And with that being said, I've this time around I've been handling it really well. I mean, I not that I believe too much in astrology, but I'm a Pisces, and Pisces are supposed to be able to kind of be the ones that are the chameleons of the bunch. Like we're able to adapt to anything. We're water signs, so we're adaptable. And I definitely feel that. But people struggle with change, and I struggle with change too. Doesn't just because I'm good at controlling my emotions doesn't mean I don't struggle with them still. I've just taken the time out to study myself and really look deep into my soul and figure out what makes me tick. Why do I get angry when I do get angry? Why do I get sad when I do get sad? And ask myself questions like that, which I think everybody should do at one point in their lives, especially before they get too old or like start getting older and have those stubborn thoughts in their head to think that like, oh, I'll never change, this is just how I am, accept it. Like, no, if you don't like something about yourself or something about yourself annoys you, you can always change that. Everything that we are is a result of what we have thought. And that is a quote from Buddha. It's the truth. You can create your own reality. You really can. If you don't like something, you don't like the job you're in, you don't like the school you're going to, you don't like the just what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, then change it. You can do it like this. You really can. Even if you're relying on that money for whatever reason or whatnot, like just do it. Just do it and see what happens. Live life. Get kicked out. Go sleep on the streets. Go to jail. Go get your heart broken. Live life is basically what I'm trying to say. So with complacency, this being the topic of this first episode, I wrote down in my notes not too long ago that complacency is the root of all evil. I'm gonna reiterate that and say complacency is the root of my evil. Because I can't really speak for everybody else. But I will say that, like, just from simple life observation, because I'm a big people watcher, when I really sit and think about it, the people that I find happiest in life and every day-to-day life are the people that are always doing something. And not only not just doing something, but doing kind of new and exciting things. Like that. Some people like to go hiking all the time, and they'll go to different places, and they'll find different trails, and then they'll take pictures. They'll be into photography. Like me personally, I used to kind of get upset at the people that were like, into photography 1 minute, and then they're into skateboarding, and then they're into bicycling, and then they're into hiking, and then they're into this and that, and they keep changing. I used to get mad at that. I'm like, why not? That's bullshit, because I like all those things, and for some reason I just couldn't accept that they would only like it for a certain time, get good at it, and then leave it alone. I like to do the things that I like to do. All right. Now, uh, I'm not a person that can just go jump from one thing to another. But now that I've grown up a little bit and I've kind of sat back and really thought about it, like those people are just following their heart and following their intuition, and if they're and their heart changes. I mean, if I look back 10 years ago and think about what I was worried about, like what was my day to day thought process 10 years ago, I can't even tell you. It was probably to do with my high school girlfriend and going skateboarding every day and stuff like that. And now looking back, that's so relevant to me. So with that being said, like imagine what I'm gonna feel 10 years from now. 10 years from now, what am I gonna be doing? What am I gonna be thinking and stuff like that? So I can't blame those people for liking something one day and then not liking it the next, or just keep moving to another subject to partake in. But those types of people are usually the happiest. It's complacency is just the people that I see that are struggling and have a lot of anxiety and like just are always stressed out and never really in a good mood, are the people that are living their lives in a repetitive kind of loop. And it's honestly sad because it's family members, it's close friends of mine, it's people that I'm really close to that I see in this struggle of everyday life, and I try to suggest things that they could be doing or whatever. But at the end of the day, you can't change people. People can only change themselves, and that's something I've had to learn too. Is just keep my mouth shut, and do what I'm doing and don't worry about other people. But since we're on the subject, like I know I'm happiest when I'm traveling, or I'm like experiencing new things, or I'm going to a concert and meeting new people and having just new experiences. To me, that's what life is all about. To me, that is what I need in order to enjoy my life. Like I have a big issue with people who think that you get to a certain age and become an adult, and suddenly you have to stop doing everything that you used to love to do because it's time to be complacent. It's time to work a day-to-day job, and it's time to put up or shut up and make your money, come home, drink your beer, and go to sleep. Marry a wife and have children, and that's it. And you should love your children, and there should be no aspirations ahead of your children. And I agree, your children should be your number one priority, of course. But with that being said, how are your children? Don't you think it'll benefit your children more if they see their parents going after what they love in life and following their dreams and doing what they want to do to be happy? I mean, at the end of the day, who wants a mother and father that are there all the time but depressed? I would rather have my mom and dad be there half the time and be happy. It's just, I mean, it's a matter of perspective, but that's my 2 cents on the subject. Complacency is the root of my evil. I think it's something that it grosses me out. It's boredom. Boredom is not a burden anyone should bear, according to Maynard James Keenan from Tool, and it's so true. I've always wanted to have a platform where I can, constantly be creative. I never was able to hold down a 9 to 5 job. I've had many of them. Many, and I've worked many hours, and I've worked my ass off in physical labor. I've worked in retail jobs. I've worked at restaurants. I've worked in all sorts of different places, and I've just always felt that I have something inside of me that I need to let out. I used to play music. I was in a band called the Death Cats, and We did that for like 2.5 years, 2.5 years, 3 years. We're still kind of together, but we don't play as much because we're growing up, and everybody has their own lives to live. If I have anything to say from my experiences, is if you have a dream and stuff, it is really hard to hold on to that and not let that die, because self doubt, self doubt is very, very tough to deal with. I mean, just when you think, you may have a goal in mind, and then one little speed bump, and most people give up. But the trick is to just what do you do in a car when you see a speed bump? You slow down, and you take that speed bump, nice and easy. Otherwise, if you don't take it nice and easy, you're gonna mess up your car. And that should be a good analogy, because when you hit speed bumps and stuff like that, you need to slow down, really assess your mistakes, and learn from it, and just continue to change, continue to evolve. Don't ever be complacent. Anyways, that's been Burning the Sage, episode 1. Again, these are just my thoughts and opinions. That's just me cleansing myself and letting this out. And I thought I'd share it with you guys just to get some feedback, and maybe somebody would reassure me that I'm not a complete maniac. It's nice to hear when people can relate to things like this. It's to just get out there and experience things. Don't be afraid of anything, I mean, you only get one life, at least physical life, and just live it. You know what I mean? And that's not saying fuck off all your responsibilities. Do what you need to do to get by. But when you have those free times and free hours, don't sit on the couch and watch TV. I mean, yeah, it's okay to do that every once in a while. And there is some educational things that you can see on television and or with video games and stuff like that. There's some great games that have taught me a lot of things. And there's some movies that I've learned most of my ideals on life from movies, and cinema and just things like that. So I don't think that's all necessarily bad. But I guess what I'll say is just follow what your heart says. If you feel like drawing with crayons, draw with crayons. You're not too old to draw with crayons. You'll never be. And if you feel that way, then you really need a reality check on what really your idea of everything is. Don't ever feel like you're too old for anything. Don't worry about anything except for what your heart is telling you to do. Okay? If you feel like making music, make music. If you feel like drawing a picture, draw a picture. If you feel like making a movie, make a movie. Do what you want to do in life, okay? Because life is too damn short, and at the same time, life is very long. You have the time to do this stuff. I mean, I'm 25 years old, and I just started following my passion, which is this stuff. I always wanted to be a part of video media and just be a videographer and just tell my stories, and I always felt like I had a voice, and I wanted to let it out. Call me arrogant or whatever, but that is what it is. Anyways, I'm Sage Ryan Cash. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Any sport show supports me, and shows like this. So, thank you.